wake up one day to find myself mad. Life should be so simple, right? No, I was a senior in high school when I had my first attack of manic depressive illness. Now, once the siege began, I lost my mind rather rapidly. You're talking too fast, Kay. Slow down, Kay. You're wearing me out, Kay. And those times when they didn't actually come out and say it, I could see it in their eyes. For God's sake, Kay, slow down. I did finally slow down. In fact, I came to a grinding halt. Former President Bill Clinton once said, "Mental illness is nothing to be ashamed of, but stigma and bias shame us all." Unfortunately, this stigma and shame is very present in today's society. According to a 2012 National Mental Health Association survey, 67% of all people surveyed believe that people diagnosed with bipolar disorder were extremely emotional and sensitive. Furthermore, less than 1/3 felt comfortable dating someone with bipolar disorder. For renowned psychiatry professor Kay Redfield Jamison, living with this illness is a daily occurrence, and she spends every waking moment researching her illness in an attempt to control it. However, despite her academic credentials and perseverance to live with her illness, there was one emotion that proved too hard for her to overcome: shame, brought on by the ignorance of people around her, proving that even brilliant minds are capable of being hurt by not-so-quiet opinions. An Unquiet Mind, a memoir of moods and madness by Kay Redfield Jamison. I stared at the packet in front of me. In imposing capital letters, the Johns Hopkins Hospital was written across the top of the page. It was an application for clinical privileges. Now, I was able to answer all of the questions regarding professional liability with the expected no. However, it was the next page titled Personal Information that made my heart race. It said, "Are you currently suffering from or receiving any treatment for any disability or illness at this time that would impair you from the proper performance of your duties and responsibilities with this hospital?" 5 lines down was that hangman's clause, saying that I fully understand that any misstatements or omission from this application may constitute cause for summary dismissal from the medical staff. Now, there is a particular kind of pain, elation, loneliness, and terror involved in this kind of madness. I mean, when you are high, it's tremendous. It's like shooting stars, and you just want to follow them to the bigger and brighter ones. Interests are found in uninteresting people. Sensuality is pervasive, and the need to seduce and be seduced irresistible. Feelings of well-being, financial omnipotence, and euphoria pervade one's marrow. But somewhere along the way, this changes. The ideas are far too fast and far too frequent, and overwhelming confusion replaces clarity. Memory goes. My war now, my war with lithium, it began not long after I started taking it. I was first prescribed it in the fall. It gentles me out, prevents me from having those terrible moods, and makes psychotherapy possible. However, there is no pill on this earth that can help with the problem of not wanting to take pills. So by early spring, against medical advice, I stopped taking my lithium. That I owed my life to the pill was not made aware to me at that time. My lack of judgment in proving to take lithium proved to be an extremely terrible one. There is no easy way to tell people that you have manic depressive illness. Now, if there is, I have not found it yet. I remain haunted by those times where the response was unkind, condescending, lacking in even the semblance of empathy. I have been treated unkindly by people I considered colleagues and friends. Now, there was this physician once, and I was recommended to him by my psychiatrist. Now, we were just sitting down talking, and he said to me, "So, do you want to have children?" I said, "Yes, of course." And then he said to me, and here's the real kicker, he said to me, "Do you realize that manic depressive illness is a genetic disease?" And for a second I just wanted to say to him, well, I've spent my entire professional life researching it, and I'm not entirely stupid. Instead, I bit back my response, and I said yes. And then, in an icy and imperious voice, as though it were God's own truth, he said, "You shouldn't have children." Now, I asked him if he thought that because of my illness I would prove an inadequate mother, or because he thought it best not to put another manic depressive on this earth. He said both. Now people, they go mad in idiosyncratic ways, and after an evening with my current lover, I reached my breaking point. I mean, had I been spending more money, had I been acting impulsively, talking faster, talking more than usual, had I been angry, acting more impulsively, in a rage, I pulled the bathroom lamp off the wall and I threw it, feeling the violence go through me, but not get out of me. Not get out of me. Oh God. I'm insane again. I mean, I can see it in his eyes, this look of terror, concern, and why me, Lord? "Are you okay?" he asks me. I turn my head with its fast-scanning eyes, and I look in the mirror and see what he sees. There is blood running down my arms, and what's worse than that, I see in the mirror a creature I do not recognize. But Miss Livingston aligned with. I can't help it. I can't help it. I chant over and over and over again to myself, and then I bang my head over and over and over again into the wall. God, make it stop! Please. I can't stand it anymore. I'm insane again. Now I know why Jekyll killed himself before Hyde had taken over completely. I took a massive overdose of lithium with no regrets. Now, after my little episode, I asked the psychiatrist for a copy of my medical records. I was shocked to find a continuation in the pattern. So,